So I'm just doing the malachite. I'm using here a glaze, it's called Fusion glaze, made by a Canadian company. And the colours I've mixed into it are black and phthalo green. I'm using bits of birthday card. The reason I use birthday card, ideal, shiny on one side, slightly matter on the other, and soft paper in the middle. And I don't know why that gives the best marks, but it does. I know some people use combs and some people cut the card. I find it works just if you get a fairly straight edge and tear it, and then you get a sort of slightly rough edge to work from. I've laid on the glaze and moved it around a little bit. Don't put it on too thick, because you're scraping the paint across the surface, and so you do get a collection. You don't want too much collecting and pooling. So that's working very nicely. Some of the bits of card don't work as well as the others. There we go. Now wipe off your card when you've finished a section, because otherwise you'll end up smearing the paint back onto the surface. So we'll do a piece this way now. I want to do another big geode. I'm not so keen on that one. You know, as I say, as you carry on using them, sometimes you think, oh, this is great, this is working really, really well. Then maybe it gets a bit too wet and it stops working so well. So a bit hard to get all the way around with that one. Stop and start. There we go. Fill in this little bit here. So I want some more dramatic pieces. Really big stripes. That's lovely. And that's just a slightly bumpier piece. And it is very much this freestyle is just making it up as you go along. Most malachite, large areas of malachite, are made up of smaller pieces, but you do see big pieces that have been cut through, great, huge areas. They're very valuable, the big pieces have been cut through. Lots and lots of geodes. Drawing up on that edge there. Getting too soggy. Just wet it up a bit. Now that drying is probably because I've thinned it a little bit, but so you could avoid it drying just by not thinning it. I'm just going to clean that up. Now we've got some very large ridges of glaze there, which are going to take a long time to dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little pad, flat pad, not crumpled pad, and I'm just going to blot these so that they don't take 3 days to dry. And it's just don't want to lose the drama, but let's see, anyone else that I'm worried about? But yeah, I also don't want something to take a huge amount of time to dry, nor do I really want a sort of terribly textured surface at the end. Slightly crumpled it there just to give almost like a gemstone feel. But I don't want to break all of this up. I want to keep some of these lines. So when I want to keep the lines solid, I use a pad. And when I want to break them up a bit, I crumple it up a wee bit. There we go. I think that's just done for this one. I do want to show you one I did on a different colour. Bear with me. So this has been done on a different base, and you can also see that while these have been done on a different base, it's a slightly different coloured glaze. And also on this one I put some metallic underneath it, just to get, and this one here as well. This is 2 colours of metallic underneath, done with foils, and this is just the one colour. Just to show you what you can, the variety that you can get, just changing out the colours a little bit and using different base coats. Okay, so I've drawn out a pattern for my malachite tabletop design, and I've used a watercolour pencil because it's water soluble. So once I'm finished, that'll disappear. It may even dissolve while I'm using the glaze. And I'm masking up. I'm using a low-tack pink Tessa tape, which is great for delicate surfaces. This isn't particularly delicate, but if you were doing it on freshly painted surface, then the chances are you wouldn't get it pulling the finish up in any way. The only thing about this is you do need to burnish the edges, because otherwise you get a bit of bleed. And this process of doing a pattern like this would take 3 different attempts. So you would do this one day, the next one beside, and then you'd fill in the details at the end. But 3 processes would be normally how I would go about attempting to do this. So I'm just masking off the sections that don't touch each other, and it was just to show you a little technique. If you want to cut your masking tape, just use a little blade, and that gives you a nice edge, and it means you can trim off sections like this that overhang just by using a little blade to tear away the masking tape accurately. And it also means you're not wasting masking tape. So this is the panel that I got set up to do fragmented malachite. So this would be where you've got pieces of malachite cut into shapes and joined together. You see this quite a lot, and I think it's rather attractive. Long time ago I did a fireplace in this style. I've used a different base coat just really to show a different style, and I'm using the same glaze, but I've thinned it because tomorrow I want to be able to do the next door pieces, and if it was too thick it wouldn't dry very easily. So it's exactly the same technique. Well, I don't like that one. Let's try a different bit of card. Paint that out. Don't like that one either. It is a matter of just playing around until you get one that you like. And as I said before, sometimes the bits of card get a bit soggy and they stop working. Oh, there we go, we're off and running. So I'll do these bits today, and then I'm going to fill in the others tomorrow. Keep wiping off. You might want to just change up the colour a little bit. I'm going to add in a little bit of extra phthalo green. What a lovely name, phthalo. Just to slightly change it. It's just a matter of working their way across the board, filling in, or your piece that you're working on, giving a nice variety in texture and design. Again, I'm not liking that, we're getting a bit soggy maybe. Try this edge. You could use wipe out tools as well, just to tidy these little bits up. Oh, that's quite nice there.